Good day, and welcome to the Impact Investing Show with your host Samuel Ikimwin. Today is day three of the 21 days to your property investing success. I'm going to say that one more time. Today is day 3 of your 21 days of property investing success. Just before we get kick-started into that show, what I want you to do is hit the like button. Side by side with that, if you haven't already, please press subscribe so that you can be a part of our community and know every single time we go live, every single time we make this happen, every single time we want to add value to you. Now, if you've hit the like and like the like, if you've hit subscribe and subscribed to the ride, what I want to do right now is jump straight into tonight's show. Tonight's show, we've got so much value to unpack for you. So I hope you guys are actually ready. Now, if you are ready, let me know in the chat by just saying one word, and that word is ready. Okay, let me know that you're ready, and we will jump straight into tonight's show. Guys, you can see the banner at the bottom. If you can't, I'll read it out. It says, don't forget to leave a comment and say hi. So if you are watching this video, whether you're watching right now with me live or whether you are watching on a replay, it doesn't make a difference. Feel free to say hi in the chat, say hi in the comments, so we know you're here. We know you're there. We want to see you guys. Okay, I got my first ready here. All right, great to see some people saying ready in the chat. I'm loving this. Let me see some more readies, guys. Let me see some more readies. If you are watching this with me live, let me see the word ready in the chat. Okay, the more the merrier. This is how we say it, the more the merrier. So the more people I have who are ready in the chat, we are going to jump straight into tonight's show. I got a hi bro in the chat, a hi to you also, ukulele. So bless you guys. It's Mr. Mute, I believe. Excellent, Mr. Mute, great to see you, bro, and thank you for jumping onto the stream. It's a pleasure to have you. Guys, listen, I want to see the community stand up right now. So let's see the readies in the chat. We've got Mute, who's leading the charge in the chat, who's already said he's ready, who's already said hi, bro. Guys, are we all ready? Because if we're not ready, how do we start to engage on day 3 of having 21 days of property investing success? Day 1, 2 days ago on the 1st of January was fire. If it wasn't fire, someone let me know in the chat. Day 2, yesterday, we went in, we had a 2-hour stream. Okay, so we merged day 2 with our Impact Property live show, and we ended up, instead of having a 1-hour show, having a 2-hour show. So day 2 yesterday was off the chain. Today is going to be what you call psychological drama. Okay, so every brain cell that is in your mind that is trying to delay you from succeeding in property is going to have a problem today. I'm seeing Mrs. I Can Win, who says ready. I see Katrina Young, great to see you in the chat. Katrina, she says, hey Sam, working on the plan, need to catch up. Listen, let me tell you something, Katrina. Tonight's session is the catch up session. Okay, if you are following me through tonight's session, you get the catch up in one session. I know what you're talking about. I know it's deeper than what you think I'm talking about, but trust me. Okay, I would not have written a little comment on your Facebook post if I didn't feel that you needed to be here. So Katrina, this is for you. Mrs. I Can Win, great to have you as admin in the chat. This is for you, and you know that already. So I hope you are ready. So guys, let me see the ready in the chat. Mute, this is for you. All right, every single person who's tuned in any way, shape or form, great to see you guys putting on the screen and letting me know that you're ready. We got Mute who says he's ready. We got Mrs. I Can Win who says she's ready. So guys, I know you guys are ready. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the show now. First thing I want to do is I want to read my disclaimer. As you guys know, I love to let you guys know that, look, this isn't about gimmicks. This isn't about games. This isn't about shows. This is about growth and progress. This is what God has called me to do. He's called me to help people grow and progress. And I take that very seriously. I do not take it lightly. So what I do is in any field or any sector I go into, I spend my time trying to help people grow and progress, and the property sector is no different to that. So that's what we're going to be doing on tonight's show as part 3, day 3 of our 21 days to property investing success. Now guys, let me say this: if you are a complete beginner in property and you haven't been on our journey with us on these 3 days so far of the 21 days to property investing success, let me assure you of something. When you finish watching today's video, day 3's video, when you finish engaging with us live, go back and watch day 1 and day 2. Those videos are absolutely free to you. They're actually in the description of this video. So when you finish this video, jump into the description of this video, find day 1, day 2. What I would do if I was you, because YouTube has this mad thing it does sometimes with live streams, is the moment the live stream ends, it usually cuts the live stream off, and you might have to wait 3 or 4 hours before that live stream gets normally uploaded. So just to not take the risk, whilst I'm talking to you right now, whilst you're getting your pen, your notepad, your iPad, all of those things ready, I would advise you to open the description of this video right now, copy the whole description and just paste it somewhere. Paste it on a word processing document. Paste it anywhere. Just make sure you've got it. All right. Now look, you can disband it if you don't need it tomorrow. You can disband it if you don't need it later. But I would advise you to do that just so you've got it. It's better to have it and not need it than to not have it and to need it. You know what we're talking about. So straight into the disclaimer. All information provided and results given are exemplary. Each person's results may vary or differ. Results are based on consistent implementation of strategies, and we advise that you always seek legal and financial advice from a qualified professional. And I'll even go as far as to say, if you need help finding a qualified professional, let me know, let my team know, and we can direct you / point you in the right direction. Now, I'm sure that if you're showing up today, you're showing up because you're looking for value. Okay, I'm sure if you're showing up today, there's only one of 2 reasons you're going to be on this live stream right now. Okay, and for some people, these reasons are actually going to merge. Okay, I got my man Prince Anno in the chat. Great to see you, Prince. Okay, he says he's ready. I'm gonna give you already a shout out too. My guy Prince Anno says he's ready, so let's get ready. So the first thing is, there's only one of 2 reasons why you're on the stream tonight. Okay, you're either on the stream because you like me. Okay, and I'm putting it simple, all right? I can make it sound convoluted and all strange. Guys, I don't want to get into that. I just want to make this simple, because if I give it to you simply, you can't later on in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years complain that you didn't understand what I put down for you tonight. All right, so I'm going to make this very simple so you can take away all the value I'm going to give you in this live stream, okay, with no complaints. And not only can you take it away, but you can use it straight away, okay? Just like day 1, all the content we discussed in day 1 about knowing what you want, okay? Day 1 was fire. We spoke about knowing what you want. I gave a book recommendation yesterday. In day 2, we spoke about something slightly different. We spoke about metacognition, thinking about your thinking. Tonight is different. You're gonna get it. But the point I'm making is, one reason you might be on the stream right now is because you like me. You know, or you have met Samuel I Can Win Akimwin at some point, some stage in your life, whether it be online, whether it be in person. And from meeting me, you've said, you know what, I like this guy. He seems like a nice guy. I want to support him. I like him. Okay, so that's one reason you might be on this stream. Now, some people are watching this. This is funny because I can see this right now. Some people are watching this live, or you might be watching this on a replay. And as I just said that, you're doing this. Some people are watching this right now and doing this. Yeah, I like him. I do like him. I like him. I like Samuel. I like the way Samuel does his thing. I like him. Okay. Let's jump into the other group of people. And listen, let me say this, all right? I guess I should be okay to say this. There's nothing wrong with liking me. Okay? That's okay. That's all right. And if you're here because you like me, I like you too. All right? So thank you for showing up. But the second group of people who are here are not here because they like me necessarily. Okay. And I'm not saying that to say they don't like me, but what I'm saying is the pressing argument for them to hit the link, the pressing argument for them to watch the show, the pressing argument for them when YouTube as a subscriber says to them, hey, Samuel Kinman's going live on the Impact Investing Show in a little while. The pressing argument for some people, the other group of people, is I need change. I want the value. I want what he's going to share, which is going to help me. So there's a group of people who like me. Okay. And effectively, those people who like me, they're tuning into this to help me. That's the funniest thing. If you like me, you're tuning into this to help me. And I want to give take my proverbial hat off to you and say, I love you for that. Why? Because the Bible says it's better to give than to receive. So you guys are giving. If you're one of those people who you're only tuning in because you like me, then you're tuning in to help me. And if you're tuning in to help me, you are giving. So I love you for that. But if you're in the other camp, okay, and again, there's nothing wrong with either camp. It's just identifying which camp you're in. If you're in the other camp, you're actually showing up because you want help. You want my help, okay? And not necessarily my help because Samuel Kinman is the guru who knows everything. No. My help in the sense that you just want help and you presume that maybe Samuel could be the person who can help you, okay? And like I said, guys, it doesn't matter which camp you're in. It's cool. It's okay. There's no wrong camp. But the problem arises, just like we spoke about in day one, when you're in a camp and don't know which camp you're in. Okay, I'm going to go deep. If I can go deep, can someone just write the word deep in the chat? I need to see deep. I want to see like deep 10 times because I really want to go in with you guys tonight. All right. And if you allow me to go in with you guys tonight, I may be able, and I'm going to say this because I want to keep it that real, I may be able to make day 3 of the 21 days of property investing success so deep that you guys don't even need to show up for day 4 to day 21. And I'm keeping it that real. All right. Let me know if I can go deep. I got my man Yogesh Patel in the chat. Great to have you on, Yogesh. Deep. I love it. We got Mute saying deeper times 10. We got Prince saying deep. You know what I love? I love it when one man shows up and does the job of 10 people. Okay, you see, when you see comments like deeper times 10 from Mute, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's one man saying, I'm going to give you so many deeps that you got to do it. Because this is the world we live in. We live in a world, and this is why property investing success is what we're talking about right now. We live in a world where one man can show up at a specific level and get the results that certain people think 10 men need to show up to get. We got Nilas Rico in the chat. Great to see you back. This is your 3rd day in a row, I believe, Nilas Rico. So great to see you again on the stream. KTR, deep, love it. Great to see you here, KTR. Lots of love for you always. Great to see you in the chat. All right, guys, so I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, you said I can go deep. Let's go deep. This book, okay, this book, you guys want me to go deep, I'm going deep. This book, okay, this is the book I recommended on day 1. On day 1 of the 21 days of property investing success, Happy New Year was the day 1 video. We spoke about knowing what you want. We said, I broke down on day 1 that the biggest issue for most people in their property investing success is they do not actually know what they want. And by the time I got to the end of the video, the end of the stream 2 days ago, on day 1 of the 21 days of property investing success, I recommended a book and I recommended a video. The video is in the description of that video. And the book is in the description of that video, but here is the book. I decided to bring my copy into the office today to show you guys. This book, okay, this book right here. I'm going to read the title for you guys to see exactly what the name of the book is. The book is called How Do You Kill 11 Million People? Okay, I'm going to even read the subtitle, the subheading to you for you guys to understand how powerful this book is and why the depth of this book is so important to people like you, people like me, who actually want to get property investing success and are fed up of losing. So if you're that person who's watching this today, you're fed up of losing, guys, let me tell you something. This is the kind of book you need to buy, you need to read, and you need to start to understand the concept behind this book. Guys, let me tell you something. Look at this book. This is a thin book. Yes, it's a hardback. I like hardbacks. It's a hardback book, but it's a thin book. When I did the first day 1 of the 21 days of property investing success, I said that this book was roughly 100 pages. Guys, I checked it the next day, yesterday. This book has 86 readable pages. And there's pictures in the book. So it's not even that long. This is a short read, but this is a powerful read. All right. And you guys said you want me to go deep. So let's go deep. The subheading of the book. I'll read the title again. I'll come into the subheading. How do you kill 11 million people? ? That's the title of the book. It then says why the truth matters more than you think. As we started this journey of the 21 days to property investing success, I started the journey by saying to you guys on day 1, you have to know what you want. Most people fail because they do not know what they want. I've said this slogan, I've said this saying so many times, I'll say it to you guys again. If you do not know what you want, if you do not know where you're going, all roads lead there. Let me go deep. You said you wanted me to go deep. I'm going to give you a key from this book, okay? This is a key that most of you guys are not even going to have an idea about. But after I break this down, I'm going to keep going deeper. This is page 21. It says the answer is breathtakingly simple, and it is a method still being used by some elected leaders to achieve various goals today. Okay? Let me ask you something. If there is an answer to a question that's fairly simple and it's something that's still being used today by elected leaders to achieve goals, wouldn't you want to know what that is? Wouldn't you want to know what that is? Now, you need to read this book to understand what I'm sharing with you guys, okay? I'm not promoting what I'm going to talk about, but I'm sharing what I'm talking about because you need to understand this to win, okay? It says the answer is breathtakingly simple, and it is a method still being used by some elected leaders to achieve various goals today. How do you kill 11 million people? ? And then the answer is right at the bottom. Lie to them. Okay? Lie to them. Guys, that's page 20. Page 20. Okay? Page 20. Go buy the book. Go buy the book. Okay? Go buy the book. Read through the book. Start to understand what Samuel's trying to share with you guys. That was the day 1 recommendation. You have to know what you want. Okay? Now let's go into this part where I said, should I go deep? And you guys said, yeah. The reason I asked, should I go deep a moment ago is because I said to you guys, if a human being does not know where they're going, all roads lead there. Let me start breaking some stuff down for you guys, okay? So let me go into the deep place, because the deep is down. It's like a well. You got to start digging. So I've started to dig by showing you about the book, what the book says, but let's go deeper. If you do not know where you're going, all roads lead there. Say that to yourself. If I do not know where I'm going, then all roads will lead there, okay? In the first 15 to 20 pages of that book, the author talks in that book about how 11 million people were transported, 11 million Jewish people were transported out of Germany into concentration camps. They didn't go fighting and screaming. They didn't go attacking the soldiers, the officers that were transporting them from their homes, their comfortable homes, to concentration camps. Do you know how they went? They went quietly. The reason they went quietly is because they were deceived. Okay? Like I just shared with you, they were lied to. They were deceived. Now, why is all of this relevant? Why is it important? This is the power of not knowing what you want. And guys, right now, I'm just recapping. Hopefully you're getting value already. If you're getting value, just write the word value in the chat. But the point I'm making is on day 1, what we were talking about on day 1 was so deep. Some of you might not have even grasped how deep what we were talking about in day 1 of the 21 days of property investing success was or is. But guys, I want to assure you something. If you do not know what you want, all roads will lead there. Okay? And on day one, this is why I had to spend so much time talking about knowing what you want. Knowing exactly what you want. That's what's going to set you apart as the first pivotal point of being a successful property investor. Knowing what you want. Know what you want. Learn to describe what you want better than anyone else you know. I know people who say they want a new car, and you ask them, what car? I'd love to have a Porsche. Okay, that is not knowing what you want. Now, I'm not into the whole materialism. You guys know me who know me. But the point I'm trying to make is, when you say you want a new car, you need to be able to tell me the color of the car, the interior of the car, how the car smells on the inside, what air freshener you've got in the car, what little trinkets or whatever it is. You need to be able to describe that thing. Okay? Because that's part of you actually saying that I don't just like this thing. I actually want this thing. I'm trying to make this thing exist in my mind before it can exist in my world. Okay? So you got to know what you want. Now, day two, for those of you who are with us on day two, we jumped into something different. Excuse me, I got to remember the mics here. We jumped into something different on day two. On day two, what we did is we jumped out of the whole world talking about knowing what you want, and we jumped into the world where we started to say, not only do you need to know what you want, but you need to get yourself to a place where you can start thinking about your thinking. Okay, and that was the word metacognition. Okay, metacognition was a word that I learned when I was in teaching, when I was in education. Thinking about your thinking. It's a long word which means a simple definition. It means thinking about your thinking. Scrutinize your thinking. Check yourself. Okay, when I was young growing up, that's a statement we used to say to each other. If we were young, if we were going to have an argument with someone, we might say to the person we were going to argue with, check yourself. Because all that means is think about what you're doing right now. Think about how you think about this right now. Okay? Check yourself. And let me tell you something. It's the people that have the best abilities to check themselves. The people that have the best abilities to scrutinize their thinking or to engage in metacognition that are the people that are winning in the property investing space. They're the people who know how to pivot without asking questions. They're the people who know how to change their business model. I'll give you an example. This will hopefully help you guys. I remember meeting two brothers years ago, some great guys. Okay, we're still very close friends now. These two brothers were active in property. They were doing the rent to rent strategy, hashtag rent to rent. Any person doing rent to rent in the chat, just write rent to rent in the chat. So these two brothers were doing rent to rent, and let me tell you something, they were doing a great job. They had racked up a portfolio of roughly 50 rent to rent properties. Okay, and this was years ago, probably about 5-6 years ago. So these two brothers had a portfolio of roughly 50 rent-to-rent properties that they were just making a killing from. They were making so much in terms of their monthly rent roll. And then one day I sat down with them and we were talking about their business model. And as we were talking about their business model, I started asking them a question. I started saying to them, you know what, guys, isn't there a risk in your business model? Because you see, what most people don't understand is when your business expands, your business starts to show you where the holes are. You see, there's a lot of people doing property because they're doing property so small. I'll give you an example. Again, I'm jumping, but guys, hopefully you're getting the value. If you're getting the value, just write the word value in the chat. Thank you, Mute, seeing the word value already. Guys, if you're getting value, let me know. Now, there was a time, okay, so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, when someone said to me that he had a friend who said property investing doesn't work. And he said to his friend, okay, how many properties do you own? And his friend said he owns 2 properties. Okay. And he said, okay, well, look, when you own 200 properties, let me know if property investing works. Okay. Now let me break down that analogy so you understand what this guy was saying to his friend. He was saying to his friend, if you own 2 properties and one of those properties out of the 2 properties has a leaky tap, has a broken sink, has a broken bed, has a broken window, then 50% of your portfolio has a problem, and it's going to be very easy for you to assume that, oh, this thing just doesn't work. You're going to assume this thing doesn't work because you're going to say to yourself, oh, 50% of your property portfolio has a problem. Okay? So this was exactly what was taking place with this guy. He was saying to his friend, listen, don't tell me it doesn't work just because you've got a number so small that whenever any little thing happens, it all looks negative. Okay? Because if you got two properties, when you got a leaky tap in one property, that's 50% of your properties that have a leaky tap. So he was saying to him, wait until you've got 200 properties. When you've got 200 properties, then give me your critique, then give me your rationale on whether property investing works. Why did he say that? Because what he was saying is when you've got 200 properties and 5 properties, yes, 5 properties have a leaky tap all at the same time. That's 5 times more properties with a leaky tap than the guy who owns 2 properties with 1 property with a leaky tap. But the difference is those 5 properties only make up 2.5% of the man's portfolio now. So the other 195 properties will be telling him property investing works when only 2.5% or 5 properties will be telling him it doesn't work. And that was his point. His point was, look, there is a key in economy of scale. So let me go back to my point, my previous point. If you're getting value, guys, hit the like button, press subscribe, become a part of the community, and let other people know that there's value here. Now, let's jump in. I sat with these 2 brothers, spoke to them about their portfolio, 50 plus rent to rents at the time, killer bankroll, just moving, okay, moving forward in their property journey. And I said to them, guys, look, as your portfolio is getting bigger, great to see you, Geek Sensei, up in the comments. Great to see you there. I said to these guys, look, as your portfolio is getting bigger, as your portfolio is expanding, as your portfolio is growing, do you guys not feel like there's potential holes in the bucket you're starting to see? Are you starting to see there's risks associated with having this kind of a portfolio, or a portfolio this size, or a portfolio like this that's leveraged in this way, etc., etc.? These were effectively the questions I was asking. Okay? They were effectively the questions I was asking. And let me tell you what these guys did. After a conversation that we had, they pivoted their whole business. They shifted their whole business. Let me say this to you for you to understand how deep this is. As of the time of this recording, these guys currently now have over 300 units in their control. Okay, so these are guys that 5-6 years ago, when I was talking to them, they had 50 properties. Right now, as of the time of this live stream, right now, okay, 3rd of January 2021, these same guys, same brothers, now have over 300 properties in their control. Let me even go deeper. They didn't have an international operation when I was speaking to them. They now have an international operation. Okay, they now are not only in the UK, they're also across the water. Now, the reason I'm going into this is because I want you guys to understand this. If we are going to have 21 days of property investing success, yes, just like I spoke about in day 1, it's very important for you to know what you want. And yes, like I spoke about in day 2, it's very important to scrutinize how you think. But this is one of the powerful keys about what I spoke about yesterday in day 2, about scrutinizing your thinking, knowing your thinking, thinking about your thinking, metacognition, engaging in the skill and power of metacognition. This is one of the keys. Actually taking the action when you realize what you've realized from scrutinizing your thinking. These guys pivoted their whole business. Okay? And the pivoting stance they took on their business a number of years ago allowed them to grow faster. It allowed them to make more money. Okay. So how did they pivot their business? I know I've got some rent to renters in the chat. I said a moment ago, if you're doing rent to rent, let me know in the chat. We've got Prince Anno in the chat, rent to rent. We've got KTR in the chat, rent to rent. Great to see you guys. So let me drop this in so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. The way that they pivoted their business a number of years ago is they said they were no longer going to offer rent-to-rent services, but because of the leverage that they had, because of the size of their existing rent-to-rent portfolio, they then, whenever new landlords would come to them or new property owners would come to them and ask them, oh, could you do a guaranteed rent on my property? They said, no, we only do property management now. We only offer property management. And what they did is they did something I talk about in one of my programs, the 30 Ways in 30 Days program. In this program that I created, 30 Ways in 30 Days, where I break down 30 different ways to make money in using property as a vehicle, one of the strategies I talk about in the 30 Ways in 30 Days is called bespoke property management. You can write that down if you got your pen, bespoke property management. All right. bespoke property management. Happy New Year to every single person in the stream. Bespoke property management is where you offer property management services, but with something bespoke, with something slightly different that other people are not offering. Okay? Now, they started to offer bespoke property management to every single client that would approach them and ask them for rent to rent. And it just allowed them to grow faster. Now, for those of you doing rent to rent, yes, this is a trick question, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. If you're not doing rent to rent and you don't understand the rent to rent model, just put a question mark in the chat and I can break down what rent to rent is. But for those of you who are doing rent to rent, here's your little trick question, your little homework question for today's video, for day 3. What's the benefit of offering property management over offering rent to rent, okay, or the guaranteed rent? Okay, so you've got to remember, these were not some small timers doing rent to rent. They had over 50 units. Okay, so because they had over 50 units, it was very clear to them where financially they were at risk. Okay, and I'm so grateful that they made that change at that time, because I just think about it to myself like this. If, for example, they didn't make that change in their property business at that time, if they didn't have people like me and other people that they could connect with and ask, questions of and strategize with, that's what the name of the game is really, if you want to break it down to that, strategy. If they couldn't grab strategy from other people, the reality is they could have just gone through last year's pandemic, last year's viral infection, last year's whatever was going on in 2020 with a business model which at the scale that they were at would not have worked. And that's the same for you. That's the same for me. If you do not know what you're doing in your property investing journey from now, okay, forget tomorrow. Forget when your business is 100 properties large. I'm just talking about right now. If you do not know what you're doing, if you're not scrutinizing your thinking, you're not putting yourself in the best environment to move forward. All right. We got Yogesh Patel in the chat who says, reduce risk. Yogesh, you're absolutely correct. Reduction of risk is one of the keys in terms of the benefits of doing property management over doing guaranteed rent. We got Prince Anno in the chat. He says, no rent guarantee required. Therefore, risk is minimized. 100%. Prince Anno, brilliant. Okay, brilliant. Perfect student. Love having people that I've done business with in the past jumping in the chat with these clear answers. That's exactly the reason why. When people do rent to rent and they offer a guaranteed rent, you know what they're doing? They're giving themselves a risk of that rent every single month. I'm not saying it's bad, guys. Everybody has to start somewhere. And some people, you don't even need to start somewhere and start there. And I'd still advise you to go do rent to rent because of the lucrative cash flow that can create for you. So this isn't about it's right, it's about, and it's not about it's wrong. What this is about is clarity. And that's what these 21 days are about. These 21 days are about setting you up to have clarity, because that clarity will convert into success. Okay. And we got Sherlyn. I hope I'm saying this correct. Sherlyn Ramsey, who says doesn't have to guarantee rent. 100% correct again. Okay. Don't have to guarantee the rent. But the thing is, for most people who are doing rent to rent, they never think to themselves, oh, after I hit property number 7, I'm shifting into management only. They don't think that. They don't think that. And guys, I want to throw this spanner in the works because I want you guys to be thinking outside of the box. Don't just assume that what you've always done, you have to always do. And this is one of the reasons why I'm grateful to have people like Prince Anno in the chat, people I've worked with, people I've coached before. Do you know why? Because someone like Prince Anno, I remember a number of years ago when we started working together in terms of building up his business, we went for a 2-strategy approach in his business. One strategy was rent to rent to build up cash flow, but the other strategy was BRR, buy, refurbish, refinance. This was years ago. And I'm grateful to say that Prince is one of those people who stuck at it. He's built that up. He's built both sides of the business up. Okay. And you can do the same too. We can do the same too, but we have to know what we're doing. We have to be very clear on our goals. All right. So guys, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. We discussed day 1. We've discussed day 2. Let me see how the chat is going and what you guys are saying in the chat. All right. We've discussed day 1 and we have also discussed day 2. As you guys saw on the screen, if you haven't hit the like button. Let the YouTube world know that this is some good content. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, guys, I don't know what you're waiting for. subscribe, hit the bell notification, do all of those things so that you can get notified every single time we go live. We have a live show every single Saturday at 6 p.m. where we offer nothing but value. Yogesh Patel, let me know if I'm telling the truth. Yeah, and the rest of you guys in the chat, if you've been on our live show on the Saturday before, let us know if we're telling you the truth. Today's day 3. All right, today's day 3 of our 21 days of property investing success. I want to get you success. I want to get you some serious success. And the only way I can get you some serious success is if I work with you. All right. And anyone who's worked with me knows how I work with people. My whole objective is helping them win. So today's day 3. And like I said, when you finish this video, if you haven't gone to day 1 and day 2, look, guys, I'm on fire already. I know why I'm on fire already today. I'm on fire already because I've got that passion in me to help you guys grow. So if you haven't seen day 1 or day 2's video after this video, go watch that. All right. Now let's jump in. Day 3. Just so we said as well, I think I've shown this already, but if I haven't, just so it's said, on the day 2 video, we recommended this book, Think and Grow Rich. It's slightly thicker, okay? So don't be afraid. But Think and Grow Rich was the book that we recommended to you guys yesterday. Okay, so yesterday's book recommendation was the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, this is the original classic, as mine says, but nonetheless, you know what we're talking about. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. All right, so let's jump into today's session. Let's start jumping into the value for today. Day 3, property investing success. We got Yogesh's comment. Yes, Saturdays have great value. So true. So much great advice. Thank you ever so much for that comment, Yogesh. All right, now, without further ado, if you guys are ready, because I know I'm ready, let's go into today's video, today's main focus. All right. So today, what I want to talk to you guys about on day 3 of the 21 days of property investing success is how you are going to win. Okay. I'm going to give you in today's video the advantage that most people wish they had. All right. Now, this advantage is something very, very simple. It's something I'm going to show you in a moment. I'm also going to make book recommendations as I've done in day 1 and day 2. I've also got a video recommendation in the description to this video, just like I did in day 1 and day 2 also. I'm going to keep doing that. Now, let me ask you something. If I got one of these, okay, and sent it to your house, okay, not this exact thing, but you know what I'm talking about, okay, I keep these around because these remind me about currency and how currency can be used and how currency can be changed. Now, if I got 100 euros and I told you I was sending you 100 euros, do you know what you would do in your mind? Okay, let me know in the chat. What would you do in your mind if I said to you, I'm sending you 100 euros right now in the post? Okay, what would you do in your mind? Okay, 99% of people would do the same thing. All right, 99% of people will do the same thing, and it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. This isn't about judgment. This is about facts. Okay, facts are very important for all of us because facts help us to do what we need to do. All right, guys, if I'm speaking too loud, let me know. Okay, if I'm clipping, let me know. I don't want to be, hurting your ears tonight. I just want to be giving you value. All right, Yogesh. I love Yogesh's comment. Yogesh says he'll smile. Okay, if I said to Yogesh, I'm sending you 100 euros in the post, Yogesh would smile. Okay, all right. Why would you smile, Yogesh? Let me ask you that question. Why would you smile? Okay, what is behind the smile? What makes you smile? If I said to you, Yogesh, I'm sending you 100 euros in the post, what is it that actually makes you smile? Thank you, admin. Mrs. I Can Win about volume and audio is fine. Yogesh, let me know that, okay? What would make you smile? If I said to you, Yogesh, I'm sending you 100 euros in the post, why would you smile? That's what I'd like to know. Same question to every single person. Every single person watching the stream right now, participate. Write an answer, okay? I don't care what your answer is. There is no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just your answer. I want to see your answer. I want to see every single person on this live stream's answer. Just write the word, the sentence. Let me know. If I said to you, okay, ask yourself genuinely right now, I'm going to send you 100 euros in the post right now. Okay, you give me your address, I'll send you the 100 euros. Imagine if I said that to you. My question to you is this: what would you do? in your mind, okay? Boom. Yogesh has started to touch exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh, I love this. Sherlyn Ramsey, you have just struck a chord. Thank you ever so much for being real in the comments. Guys, I need this. I need this in my life. All right, so let's jump in. Yogesh says he can spend it on dinner. Okay? He said he's going to smile because he can spend it on dinner. He said it's also a nice story for him to tell others. Okay? That's 100 euros gone. Let's say I've sent it to someone. Now, this is for everyone else. Okay? Sherlyn Ramsey says, why? What do you want? Okay? And that's cool. That's cool. I told you guys I needed that. I needed those kind of ulterior thought process questions. Okay? Now, I appreciate your statement about why. What do you want? Okay? Imagine if I didn't want anything. Okay? Imagine if I didn't want anything, but I was just sending it to you. I want your address so I can send it to you. Okay? First person, Yogesh says he would smile. But when I dug a bit deeper and asked Yogesh, why would you smile? Yogesh says because he can spend it on dinner. He even went further and said it becomes a nice story he can tell other people. All right, let's go forward. We got Mute in the chat. Mute says 100 euros, question mark, what you need from me. When will it arrive? Okay, so there are two things that Mute is thinking about. First thing Mute is thinking about is what are you trying to get out of me? But then the third thing he's thinking about, or the second thing, that he's thinking about is how soon will I get it? Okay, and that's good thoughts. These are good thoughts. Okay, but let me start to break down exactly why I asked this, okay? And you can ask the same question with other notes, 50 pounds, okay? If I said to you, I'm going to send you the highest denominational note that we have in the UK, in Great Britain, which is a £50 note, what would you do in your mind? If I said to you, I was going to send you $100 bill, what would you do in your mind? That's my question to you. What would you do in your mind, okay? What would you do in your mind? I've got 3 answers so far. Okay, roughly 3 answers. I'm looking for more. I want more people in the chat to let me know. Let me even go deeper, okay? Whilst you guys are getting your answers prepared and throwing them in the chat, I want every single person to respond. Because this is the thing. You're jumping onto this video, like I said, to be one of 2 people. To be a person who's coming to help me, to support me to be on here, or you're coming to get help, okay? So let me tell you this. If you're coming here to get help, if you're coming on this specific video to understand a third way, or to understand a third thing, or maybe for you the first thing to do to get property investing success over the next 21 days, if you are here to take from this video, you need to engage in this video. That's what I'm going to say to you. Okay, so I want to encourage you to do this. I want to encourage you, if you're trying to get value out of this video, the most value you're going to get is when you start to engage with the video. All right, so let me know. And again, this isn't just for us who are here live. This is also for those who are watching on a replay. Write in the comments. If I was sending you 100 euros, if I was sending you $100 in the post, if I was sending you 50 pounds in the post, tell me the answer to that question. What would you do in your mind? All right. Yogesh says, he goes on further to say, invest it on something to give him income and security. Let me tell you what 99% of people would do. Okay. And I'm even going to go further. I'm going to give you guys something past the 3 notes. If I said to you, I'm going to give you a black card. If I said to you, I'm going to send you a card where you will be able to spend any amount you want whatsoever for the next 12 months. For the next 12 months, there is no place you will go where they will not accept this card. There is no place that you will go where there will be an amount that this card will not be able to swipe for you. Okay? Let me tell you what you would do. Okay? You do exactly what Yogesh got into by his second answer. Yogesh's first answer was, I would smile. Yogesh's second answer, okay, I don't know if you guys remember it. Yogesh's second answer was, the reason he would smile is because he could see himself spending it on dinner. He could see himself spending it on dinner. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm sharing with you guys today. All right. Yogesh said he could see himself spending it on dinner. That's what 99% of people would do when they believe something's coming their way. They start to visualize what they're doing with the thing they're getting. Let me just say this. I've said it again. If you're getting value, hit the like button. All right. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want you to understand this. All right. Most human beings, the moment they believe they've got something coming their way, they have spent, and obviously because we're talking about money, that's why I'm using this example, they have spent that money already. Most human beings, when they believe they've got something coming in their direction, they have squandered that cash already. That money's already gone. You sat at home and said, oh, you know what? You might be able to remortgage your house at the end of this year. Oh yeah, if you do remortgage your house, based on what you think about values, you might be able to pull out about 60 grand at the end of this year. You know what most people have done before the 60 grand hits their account? They've spent the money already. You know what? Samuel said he's going to send me a black card. I'm going to be able to spend it on anything I want, anywhere I want, anytime I want. You know what most people have done? Spent the money already. In their mind, they've spent it. This is why Yogesh was smiling. Yogesh could smile and you might smile, okay? Again, coming back to the comments, someone said, you know, if I knew I trusted you, etc. Yes, of course, there had to be the underlying foundation of trust, etc. I am genuinely a very genuine person, so I didn't think that there'd be any questions about trust, etc. But there will be for some people. But the reality is, if you remove the barriers of trust and you tell somebody, I'm going to give you something, 9 times out of 10, they're already thinking how to use it. They're already thinking how to employ it, how to get it in function, how to get it working. All right. I just want to cover this as a foundation, because if I don't cover this, you're not going to be able to really take the value I'm about to give you for day 3. Let me read a few of the comments before I move forward. Okay. If it was genuine and I trusted you, say thank you, take and invest to grow it. Powerful. I will say, yes, please. I want it now. I know you would, Yogesh, because you know if I said I was going to send it, I'd be sending it. Mute gives the thumbs up. I believe Mute's thumbs up was because he agrees with exactly what I was saying about most people have spent the money already. All right, now listen, guys, this is the reality. Most people, 99% of people, if you tell them, I'm going to send you $100, before the $100 arrives, let me tell you something. Parcel Force, DPD, I don't know what services we have now doing delivery, Royal Mail, nobody delivers fast enough for the human mind to do what the human mind is going to do anyway. Because we've all been taught, we've all been conditioned that if we believe it's ours, we've already spent it. Okay? So if I told you I was going to send you $100 in the post, I can guarantee you before the $100 hit your address, you would have already psychologically spent it. Now, does that mean you will end up spending the $100 on the exact things you thought about? Not necessarily. Okay. If there was a large item which would take up the majority of that money, most likely you may end up still going to get that specific large item. The point I'm making is this is how the human mind works. The human mind gravitates towards the vision of what it wants to achieve. Okay. And if we get told with the human mind that we're going to have some more, we're going to have something else, we're going to have a little bit extra, the human mind expands to engage with the new thing. It takes our vision to another level. Sherlyn saying value. Thank you for your comment in the chat. Guys, I want you to understand what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is not a joke. Okay, and if you understand what I'm saying, your property investing success is going to skyrocket this year. Like I said, guys, I could go so deep on day 3 talking about the principle I'm talking about today that some of you will not even need day 4 to day 21. And I'm just keeping it real because I know what day 3's principle that I'm talking about today has done for my life. Let me tell you something. If I told you I was going to send you £50 in the post, I can guarantee you that 99% of people would have spent the £50 before it arrived, spent the €100 before it arrived, spent the $100 before it arrived. So the question then becomes, if you are not going to spend it on the right thing before it arrives, you've already failed. I hope you understand that. Okay, like I'll give you an example. Okay, we got a whole chat going on. We got a live chat going on. If you think about it, like obviously my first degree was in statistics, my second degree was in statistics, so I'm very much into statistics. And if you want, you could say that our live chat is like a live sample. It's like a live focus group, if you want to take it like that. So think of it from this perspective. We got a live focus group, and I've said to the live focus group, hey guys, I'm going to send you some money. What are you going to do with the money? Okay. And we've got someone who said, oh, I'm going to smile. Then I ask, why are you going to smile? I'm going to smile because I can see myself spending it on dinner. I can see it being a nice story for me to tell other people. Okay. Then afterwards, we got people saying, oh, I'm going to invest it. I'm going to use it to make more money. Okay. Now, the reason this is so powerful is because look at the order of our thoughts. Now, for some people, $100 isn't enough for them to invest. Okay, for some people, I'm going to be honest with you. For some people, if you talk to them about $100, there is no way, shape, or form in their mind they are going to think about investing any pound or piece or dollar or cent of this. Why? Because to them, you don't invest $100. $100 is not enough to invest. For some people, 100 euros, you don't invest. It's not enough to invest. You can't invest 100 euros. You can't invest a franc. You can't invest a cent. You can't. It's too small. For some people, £50 is too small to invest. You can't invest a pound. You can't invest £2.50. You can't invest £250. You can't invest a pence. For some people, £50 is too small to invest. You see, that's part of the problem for many of those people. They don't have, and this is the principle for day 3, they don't have a vision for their success. Okay, in order for you to get property investing success, I'm going to be very, very transparent with you guys because that's what I'm here to do. You need to have a vision for your property investing success. Now, I started on the 21 days of property investing success by saying to you guys that you need to know what you want. And the reason I started by telling you guys you need to know what you want is because I know we can't even get to day 3. You can't have a vision if you don't know what you want. Okay. It just doesn't work. We went into day 2 where yesterday I was saying to you guys, you need to start to implement metacognition, which is thinking about your thinking. You need to start scrutinizing the way you think, why you think that, etc., etc. Now, again, similarly with yesterday, that was very important because if you don't have the ability to scrutinize how you operate, you're not going to have a functional vision. You're going to have a dysfunctional vision or a malfunctioning vision. Okay. But for today, day 3, like I said, the value in this alone, if you go and utilize what I'm talking about, if you go do your own homework, your own research, you start maximizing the potential of the things I'm talking about in today's stream alone, I can guarantee you, you won't need anything else. Okay. How can I say this so confidently? I'm going to tell you why. I believe it's Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18 in the Bible. It says, without a vision, the people perish. Okay. So you go do the maths. Now, if that proverb, that statement is true in the Bible, without a vision, the people perish. What that means is if you do not have what we're talking about in today's video, if you do not have a vision for your property investing success, guys, you don't need another day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, you don't need another day because you're about to die. Your property investing success is about to die. Okay. And listen, guys, let me tell you this. I've come across so many people whose property investing success is dead in the water. They're not even trying to succeed in property anymore. I know people let me even go deep. I know people who own more property than me, whose property investing success is dead. All right. I hope you understand. I hope you can rationalize that. Okay, I know people who actually own more property than I own, but their property investing success is dead because they have no vision for their property investing success. Guys, let me just throw this out here again. If you are getting value from today's video and you haven't hit like. Let the YouTube world know this is of value. If you're getting value from this video and you have hit like, hit the share button. Okay, let your friends, family, and followers understand that there's value being shared right here, right now, live. Okay, and guys, I said this in day 1. I'm going to say it again. Every single one of the principles, of the laws, of the precepts that I'm sharing with you guys on these 21 days of property investing success can actually be used to help you succeed in any area of your life. It's not just about property, but the context of our show is property. So thus we're talking about property. So like I said, share this with people who need to hear this. Share this with people who need the help. Guys, if you didn't struggle in 2020, maybe just try to be empathetic and remember and understand that a whole bunch of people did. And the reality is, for some people, them being able to hear what I've been sharing over the last 3 days could be maybe a game changer for them. It could be the difference between them changing their life. I'll give you an example. Today, I'm in a WhatsApp group, just one of the WhatsApp groups I'm in. Today, someone posted about their brother being suicidal. They said, guys, could you please pray for my brother? He's just attempted to take his life, etc., etc., etc. Guys, I'm not saying that to expose someone's business. I'm saying that to help you understand that we live in a real world. You may not get messages like that ever. You may not be in groups where people ask you to pray for people who are about to try and jump off a bridge or kill themselves. That's cool. I get it. That's all right. But I just want to remind you that whilst you sit comfortably trying to learn about property investing success, there might be some people you know who don't feel how you feel right now. But if they could hear this, they could start to feel how you feel right now. They could change their life. They could improve their life if they felt like they had the opportunity. All right. So hit the share button. Okay. Give this value to other people if you can. All right. That's what I'm saying. So let's keep pushing on. So vision is crucial. Okay. And for you and for me, in order for us to have a successful property investing journey, we have to have a successful property investing vision. Okay. I'll share it again. I believe it's in Proverbs 29 verse 18. If I'm wrong, can someone correct me in the chat and just throw the verse of the scripture from the Bible in the chat, please? So we've got the accurate reference. But I believe it's Proverbs 29 verse 18, which says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Okay. So the Bible teaches from that verse in Proverbs that vision is paramount. Okay. I'm sharing with you guys from my experience for you to understand vision is paramount. I want everyone who's engaging with this to understand that. You should say that. If you're taking notes, that's one of the notes you should have written down. Vision is paramount. My property investing success vision is crucial to me achieving property investing success. Okay, so let's jump into the book recommendation. For today's video, I'm going to recommend a book which has had over 2 million copies in print of this specific author's books. Okay, so obviously this is an author who knows what he's doing. The book I'm recommending today, this is my copy, not my wife's copy, is The Principles and Power of Vision. Okay, and this is written by Dr. Miles Monroe. Anyone who knows Dr. Miles Monroe, you would have heard of this book because I believe this is probably his most well-known book. I believe it's his most well-known book. Well, at least it was about 10, 15 years ago. All right. Now, The Principles and Power of Vision is a book which will help you learn and understand how to craft your vision for success. Now, obviously, we're talking about property investing specifically. So obviously, as you go through the book, you keep your mind on property investing if you want to do that. But this book will help you to create a framework of vision for your life. Okay. It says the subtitle of this book is Keys to Achieving Personal and Corporate Destiny. The Principles and Power of Vision. I'm going to read this little blurb at the back, just 3 lines, just for you guys to understand the depth of what I'm sharing with you guys right now. It says, individuals need it. Corporations need it. Nations need it. All successful organizations need it. What is it? A clear vision. You see, when I said to you guys, what would you do if I said I'm going to send you a £50 note in the post? You may not have realized the connection, but what you would do is what 99% of people would do, which is you would conform this money, you'd conform that money, you conform the note, the currency into your existing vision. Okay? When I said to you guys, I'm going to send you $100 in the post, what would you do with it? What you answered, okay, the different answers were effectively, I would conform that money into my vision of life, into my vision of things. I'd use it to buy dinner, okay? I'd use it to invest and make more money, because that's the vision of things you have. If you're being honest, if those were your honest answers and you're being honest, then that's the vision of things you have. So that's what you do. When something comes into your life, do you know what you do? You conform it into your vision of things. So my question to you is, how is property investing success going to come into your life if you haven't created a framework to conform it into your vision of things? Now, I'm going to give you an example, guys. If you want an example, write the word example in the chat. This example hopefully will be quite powerful and help a lot of you. All right. You see, vision is like that, guys. It's the same. Even when I spoke about using the black card, I said, guys, I could give you the black card if I gave you the black card with no limit, where you could go anywhere, swipe anything, and just basically do whatever you want with the black card. If I was going to give you the black card, what would you do? You do the same thing as if I gave you the $100, as if I gave you the £50, as if I gave you the €100. You do the exact same thing. Okay? You'd conform it to your vision of what that $100, that £50, that €100 is supposed to be used for. Even if you had the black card with no limit on, you'd conform it to your ideology of what you want to use it for. So I've got in the chat the word example. So let me give an example. Around 3 years ago, 2017, 2016, I think it was 2016. I was working a full-time job, okay? And one of the things I realized when I was working a full-time job in 2016 was I was on my way to having what I believe at the time was property investing success. Okay, I was already doing some stuff in property. Things were going quite well. 2016, I was on a property program where I was pushed to do even better in property in that 12-month period. And one of the things that happened in that period of time is I made a decision. Okay, it was a small decision, but I want you guys to understand the power. This is the example I'm giving you about how we conform things to our vision. I made a decision to not work 5 days a week. I made a decision to take 1 day out of my working week off so I could focus on my property business. Okay, so I shifted from working 5 days a week to working 4 days a week. Okay, I believe it was in 2016. Now, I never knew what was going to happened when I made that decision, but I'm just sharing this with you guys because I want you guys to be able to benefit from the experience I've had, not just the insights and knowledge I have. I've been coaching people for years. I've been coaching so many people for years on their property investing success. I've seen one of the great things about being on this stream right now is some of the people who are actually in the chat, people that I've coached and I've seen go from 1 property to go to 6 properties they control and own. Okay, people in the chat who had no deals when they met me, I started coaching them and now they had deals, blocks of flats, etc. Okay, and those of you who are in the chat, if you've got value from Samuel coaching you in any specific way, feel free to say he's coached me, I got value. Okay, because you wouldn't be back, you wouldn't be showing up if you didn't get value in the past. Okay, and this is the powerful thing. We pay for value, we get value, and then we still come back for more. That shows you that the value is worth more than the money we pay. Okay, but let me go back into it anyway. So 2016, I was working full time. I made the decision to take 1 day a week off and start to work 4 days a week rather than 5 days a week. I did not know the ramification that was going to have. This was the ramification it had. It allowed me to spend 1 day a week living a completely different life. It allowed me to spend 1 day a week being a property investor. It allowed me to spend 1 day a week actually realizing what the potential was of being somebody different to who I was all of those years before. Let me tell you what shifting from 5 days a week to 4 days a week actually really did for me, so you guys can start to see how this can help you. When I shifted from working 5 days a week to working 4 days a week, I was able to receive a vision for my property investing success. I hope that makes sense. Okay? Because let me say this. When you work 5 days a week for an employer, you are physically seeing 5 days a week the world, the vision that employer has created for you, and your embedded vision within the vision the employer has created for you. Okay, you might not see yourself as a managing director of your employer's company. Just as an example, I'm just giving you an example. But you see, when I took 1 day away from an employer and gave that 1 day to myself, I actually created an opportunity for me to get a glimpse, just a sneak peek, a glimpse of what property investing success could look like to me. Okay? Now, this is why I want you guys to understand the power of what I'm talking about. I got the comments popping off. Example. Yes. Guys, I want you to understand the power of what I'm talking about. All right? The power of what I'm talking about can work for you. It's not just about me. It's not just going to work for me. Why should I win? Why can't you win? Why can't you even win beyond how I've won? That's what I'm here for. I'm here for those people. I'm here for the people who want to be the students who are going to surpass their teachers. Because that's what I got taught. When I was young, my dad said that to me. He said, you are here to surpass me. So if I'm out here trying to help people with their property investing success, I'm expecting some of you guys who are tuning into this, not those of you who are going to fall by the wayside, not those of you who, this is just a gimmick, but those of you who are serious about your property investing success, I'm expecting you guys in the next 4 years, 12 years, 24 years to become phenomenal in terms of your property investing success. Way beyond what I've achieved at this stage. Okay? Now, the only way that's going to happen is if you take the resources, if you take the keys that I have and I pass to you and you start opening every single door those keys allow you to open. And you can do that. I guarantee you can do that. Okay? Because I'm not making this convoluted. I'm not making it hard. I'm not making it challenging. I'm making it simple. Why? Because I want you to get it and I want you to use it. You need to have a vision. So by going from 5 days a week to working 4 days a week, I created a scenario where 1 day a week, I was able to start to get a glimpse of a vision of what property investing success could look like for me. I was spending that day building my property business and starting to understand what it would look like to be a property investing success, to have property investing success, to define property investing success. Let me break some powerful things down to you about this. First thing, you see, when you start to create a vision for your property investing success, you start to realize that, I don't know about you, but for me, what I started to realize was property investing success would mean things would be on my terms, not other people's terms. Things would be on my terms, not other people's terms. Okay? I'll give you an example. Right now, at the time we're recording this, we're working on a project to build out a purpose-built content creation studio. Okay? Now, in that purpose-built content creation studio, what we're going to do is we're going to use that space to add more value to you guys. We're going to be doing more live streams. We're going to be doing even more sophisticated trainings. Okay, we've already created online courses, all of those things. I showed you guys some of my resources earlier that I created for my coaching clients and for my students. I showed you guys earlier the 30 ways in 30 days. We got the Team 10 program that some of you guys have gone on. We've got the Property Investors A to Z. Guys, we got all of these resources. So someone might be saying, well, Samuel, you created all those resources. You've been out here. You've been helping people for a number of years. Like, why do you want to do more? You know why? Because it's on my terms. One of my values is to share. That's one of my core values. SHARE. That simple. It's that simple. Like, people can complicate it. I don't complicate it. I make it simple. One of my core values is to share. Share information, share content, let people know. And let me tell you why one of my core values is to share. Because where I grew up, the way I grew up, in the area I grew up, if they had the information that I have now, their worlds will be different. It's a very simple statement. Some of you who are watching this are going to understand what I'm talking about. Some of you are going to have no clue, and that's okay. But the point I'm making is when I went to study my first degree, my second degree, my third degree, my fourth degree, I went to study all of those degrees for the exact same reason that I do all of this in property, that for the same reason that I share. Okay? The reason I do all of this, okay, is, let me go back to the degrees because I think that will help more people. The reason I studied so many degrees in university is because I said to myself, my parents told me education was the key out of your situation. If you are poor, I was told when I was young, education is the answer. When you're from Africa and you fly to the UK and you start telling your children, get a degree, get a job. You see, the reason they do that is because they believe education is the key to your financial freedom. So I believed that. Okay, guys, I'm not Superman. I believed what I was told. We usually believe what we are told. This is why Day One's book is so important for you to go and read. Because if you don't understand what Day One's book is telling you, you're not going to get how to start doing what we're talking about on day 3. So I believed what I was told. I was told something very simple. I was told that if you get a degree, you can go and get a good job. If you go and get a good job, you'll be cool. You'll be legit. You'll have money. You could do whatever you want. First thing, let me say this. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. If you understand the principle I've shared today, if this is coming your way, whether it's $100, €100, £100 million, or £100, it does not matter. If you understand what I've shared with you guys today already, this is already spent. So if you don't have the right vision for your money, it doesn't matter how much money you've got. That's the first thing. Okay, so I want everyone to understand that. Again, if you're taking notes, that's some good notes to have in your journal. That's some very good notes for you to have in your notebook. Okay, it does not matter how much money I have if I don't have the right vision for my money. Okay, hope that helps you. Now let's go further. So I believed what I was told. Okay, I was told by my parents, you go get a degree, you'll get a good job, and you'll be cool. I believed what I was told so much that after I studied my first degree, I said, you know, I could do another one. I've got the intellectual prowess to do another. Let me do another one. I went and studied my second degree, my first master's in statistics at UCL. Straight after that, I was like, you know what? I could do another one. I'm strong enough intellectually. I could do another one. I went and done my teacher training qualification. I qualified to teach A-level maths. I went and did that. Then I was like, you know what? I could do another one. I went and studied to become a master teacher. I got my master's in teaching. Again, at the IOE Institute of UCL. So I studied these 4 degrees. Why? Because I believed what my parents had told me. I believed it. I believed that these degrees would equate to access to financial freedom and an exit from poverty or whatever, however you want to name it. Okay. But you see, the funniest thing, it's like what I was sharing at the beginning of this video. And this is why I started with this. You see, the 2 friends I had, the 2 brothers who started their business with 50 properties using rent to rent as a model. And I said to you, when you get something going at such a large scale, it becomes easier to see where the holes are. You see, when you study 4 degrees, more degrees than your dad and your mum have studied, it makes it easier for you to understand whether the truth is embedded in the concept they've given you or not. It makes it easier for you to scrutinize it and say to yourself, well, hold on a minute. I've studied 4 of these things and I'm not seeing what you guys were telling me. I still have to apply for a job. It's not because I've got 4 degrees that I just get a job. And then after I apply for a job, I still have to be the best candidate in the interview process, quote unquote. We all know there's favoritism out there, but I'm just saying. But then going further to that, not only do I have to be the best candidate as well as still apply for the job, I then still have to consistently outperform other people so that I can secure my position in this work environment. Okay, now look, everybody knows different work environments have different levels of the three things I've just spoken about. You might have a friend who helps you get a job so you don't have to technically apply, but you still have to apply even if you don't technically have to apply. You might have some scenario where even though you didn't have to apply, the interview process is kind of tongue-in-cheek and you just had a conversation and now you're in, but you still have to go and show up for the interview. The point I am making is I realized, having studied 4 degrees, that it wasn't what I was told it was. So I started searching for the truth. And I started to realize I could actually use property investing to change my situation. And I knew that because in 2005, I worked as an estate agent. I met some property investors and I started to realize there is a whole nother world out there. If only we could learn to tap into it. And I'm so grateful that in 2005, when my curiosity was sparked as an estate agent, I started to actually read materials off of the internet. I started to actually start to learn about creative property investing, using other people's money, using your own money, how to help people get better returns on their money, etc., etc., etc. So the point I'm trying to make, guys, for those of you who are watching this, is we need a vision. Okay? We need an accurate, clear vision of our property investing success. If you followed me so far from day one and you understand that you need to know what you're looking for, you need to know what you want. If you followed me through day 2, where yesterday I basically shared with you guys, you need to implement metacognition. You need to start learning how to think about your thinking. Guys, let me tell you something. Yesterday's video was powerful. If you have not watched yesterday's video, go watch yesterday's video. Okay? But watch day 1 as well. You just need to follow us for the 21 days. That's just the reality. But today, guys, today, I want you to understand something very simple. That simple thing is you need a vision. You need a vision for your property investing success. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, even if I was on this stream for 3 hours, it would not be long enough for me to teach you my construct of how I help people develop a vision. Okay? Most people who I've coached, okay, hashtag, thank you for the comment. KTR's comment, Samuel, winner of Best Coach Award. I appreciate that, KTR. All right. But let me say this to you guys. I want you to understand this because it's fairly simple. Most people I've coached, any person who's been a student of mine, even a client of mine, 9 times out of 10, they will not know how I teach them about developing vision. Why? Because I embed that in a hidden fashion in whatever curriculum or in whatever framework I use. Okay? I'll show people how I help them set goals and all of this other stuff. But the vision work, a lot of the time, I don't tell people, okay, this is what I'm doing to help you understand how to create a vision. Because it's so powerful, I like to hide it in the frameworks I use. So that after 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, people start realizing, you know what, I've got a clear vision for what I'm trying to do. I don't know what Samuel's done to me, but I can see clearer now as it pertains to my property investing success. All right. So guys, I want to let you know that it doesn't take a day or a night to develop a clear property investing success vision. Okay. And I'm just going to be very transparent with you. And this is the reason why I had to tell a lot of people who I knew needed to watch this video to jump on this video, because I need you people to understand that if you develop a successful property investing success vision, you are going to be light years ahead of other people. Guys, let me tell you something. When I started to get into property, I didn't have as many property as people that was rubbing shoulders with me. I didn't have as many property or opportunities or even money as people around me. But you know what I had? Look, I can possibly outperform people 99% of the time when it comes down to doing stuff because I have a strong vision. I've got a very strong vision, and my vision drives me beyond the ability to do things that most people they give up after a while because their vision's not strong enough. Now, the reason I'm saying all this to you guys is because I want to help you guys to do the same thing. I want to help you guys develop your own vision, and I want your vision to be so strong that I want you guys to be able to help other people develop their own vision. But before we get to you helping people, let's help you first. So you need to develop your own property investing success vision, your own vision for success as a property investor. What does success as a property investor look like to you? Okay. 2 things I'm going to give you in order to help you with today's session. These are your homework. First one, for those of you who are like me, who love to read, go get the book, The Principles and Power of Vision by Dr. Miles Monroe. Name of the book is in the description for those of you who are forgetful or for those of you who don't like using a pen. Here's another principle for those of you who are writing notes. A good friend of mine told me this years ago in 2004 or 2005, and I've never forgotten it. He said, a short pencil is better than a long memory. Okay, I'll say that again just once for you guys. For those of you who are taking notes, a short pencil is better than a long memory. This is the reason why it doesn't matter how much I know I've got an amazing memory. And let me tell you guys, I have an amazing memory. I have met very few people in my life with a memory as great as mine. But part of the reason my memory is so great is because around 15 years ago, I started writing a whole bunch of stuff down. So that's just to add that to you. So the first thing I want to give you for tonight's session is that book recommendation, The Principles and Power of Vision by Dr. Miles Monroe. I want to encourage you guys, go get the book. Yes, again, this is another hardcover. I like hardcovers, guys. I don't only own hardcovers, but I own a whole lot of hardcovers. But go get the book, firstly. Second thing I'm going to encourage you to do, your homework before tomorrow's session, is jump into the description of this video and go and check out the video that I've put in this description for today's additional reading or additional homework, okay? That video is a single video which is going to help you start to construct your vision for your property investing success. Okay, so I want you to go and take advantage of that video. That video is going to help you start to build and construct your own vision for your property investing success. You're going to watch through that video with your notepad and with your journal and with your pen and paper, whatever you're going to use. You're going to get to the end of that video and you're going to say, why didn't I do that 10 years ago? Why didn't I do that 15 years ago? Why didn't I do that 14 years ago? And just to let you know, I started doing that 15 years ago. And that's part of the reason why I am where I am today and how I get the results I get today. So far we've been jam-packed. Let me throw this out there. I don't usually do this, but let me throw this out there. Guys, what questions do you have? Okay, what questions do you have about vision? Like I said, I want to make day 3 jam-packed. I want to give you guys so much value in today's session. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to open it up right now for questions. Do you have any questions about property investing success? You let me know. Okay, specifically day 3, we're talking about having a vision for your property investing success. So it would be great, it would be amazing if the questions that we get coming in on today's show are specifically about vision, okay, in terms of your property investing success. But like I said, guys, let me know what questions you guys have specifically as it pertains to your property investing success. I'm very keen to know. All right, and again, just as a last reminder, if you're just tuned in now, if you're tuning in recently, hit like, feel free to subscribe, press the bell notification, become a part of what we're doing in terms of our community, and let's move forward together. All right, so chat's on fire right there. Example, Obi Bims, shout out to you in the chat. Yes, great to see you tuning in. KTR said, Samuel, winner of Best Coach Award. Appreciate that, KTR. Lots of love to you. Excellent. All right, cool. So we got our first question coming in. Great question as well. I like this question. Question from Yogesh. You can always trust Yogesh to shoot a question out. Yogesh says, how can you cement your vision in the quickest time? Now, look, just to make this simple, for those of you who are rocking with us on the 21 days of property investing success, and I'm saying this because I want you guys to get the success, go buy the book, okay? Go buy the book, The Principles and Power of Vision. This book is going to help you. Let me jump into it. This is why I needed to make sure I had my copy and not my wife's copy. When I picked up this copy from my library earlier on, or picked up the book from my library earlier on, I had to quickly look in the first couple pages because I didn't want to bring you guys my wife's copy and then feel like I can't read certain things to you out of the book. But let me give you some stuff. Let me help you guys. Yogesh is asking a great question. All right, so look, I'm going to give you this as an example. This is page 89 of the book. So another thing you can do, if you're getting value from what I'm doing right now, you can jump into, I think it's Amazon, like what do they call it? Quick read or something like Amazon preview. You know, when you go and buy a book on Amazon, sometimes you can press like preview and it opens up the book and lets you read a few pages. Go do that if you want. All right. But I'm going to read this to you. This is page 89. And the subtitle of this chapter, or of this part of the book, says, be directed by a clear vision. So that's one of the powerful things about a vision, is it gets you clarity. It helps you become very clear. So I'm going to read it to you. Action steps to fulfilling vision. Okay. So Yogesh has asked the question, how can you cement your vision in the quickest time? All right. Now, there's a lot I could say about this. Like, one of the things I really want to say is your vision isn't something that should be done quickly. It's something that should be done properly. It's a quality thing over a quantity thing in terms of speed. That's first. So I'm just throwing that out because I want to make sure that there's no one who's tuning into this, whether live or on the replay, who doesn't have that clarity. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, in terms of cementing your vision, like, part of cementing your vision is understanding things you want to do, but things you're supposed to do. Okay? Because there's things you're supposed to do which you may not want to do, and there's things you want to do. So I'll give you an example. For some people, they may not want to get married, but they may need to get married. They may be supposed to get married, for example. I'm just giving an example. Okay? So I'm just throwing some extra value out there for you guys. All right. So here's what it says. And this is one of the great things about the book. The book has lots of action steps. The book has the chapters. Then at the end of every chapter, you have the chapter principles, which are just basically written down in bullet points. And then after that, you have action steps. So this is one of the action steps. Page 89 says action steps to fulfilling vision. It says, have you truly answered the king's question? Okay. I've got sticky labels in my book where I've written on them as well. So excuse me if I'm trying to read through post-it notes. All right. Action steps to fulfilling vision. It says, have you truly answered the king's question? What is it that you want in life? Write down your answer. Okay. So we're on page 89. And this is effectively what you're being provoked to do. You're being provoked to write down the answer to the question, what is it that you want in life? Now, if you've used what I spoke about in day one, this book, okay, How to Kill 11 Million People, if you understand the principles in this book, by the time you start to work on this book, I can guarantee you're going to be in a strong place. And remember, this is a quick read. This is 89 pages, okay? And it's not even like lots of words, okay? This is 89 pages, a real quick read, but the underlying principle here will help you here. So this asks the question, what is it that you want in life? And it says, write down your answer. Okay. Now, this next part, this next action step is something, even if you don't buy this book, you need to write down as I say this right now and make sure you work on this. The next action step says, what things in your life are distracting you from the real business of your life? Okay. I'm going to read it to you again. What things in your life are distracting you from the real business of your life? So for example, going back to what we've been speaking about today, if property investing success is part of the real business of your life, the question he is asking here is, what things are distracting you from property investing success? Okay. And most people don't ask that, because for most people, their job might actually be one of the answers. Okay. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just giving you guys an example. But if you never ask the question, okay, you will never know. Let's go further here. I'm not going to go further because that's the end of the action steps, but I've got a whole bunch of stuff I wrote in the book right here. So I'm going to read one thing I wrote here. And I wrote this years ago. I think I read this book first in 2004, maybe 2005. Okay. But let me share with you the first line of what I wrote to the second action step in terms of like the beginning of my answer to the second action step. I just wrote here, incorrectly prioritizing. Okay. And I'm going to stop with that, incorrectly prioritizing. All right. So hopefully that helps you guys. All right. Let's look at the chat. I've got a whole bunch of questions coming in now. I love this. Okay. I've got questions coming in all day long. What I'm going to try and do is try and make sure I at least take a question from each person rather than take the same people's questions again and again. But I will try to answer every question, as you guys know I do. All right. So Mute writes here, let's say one has 50K to invest and vision is to create long-term cash flow. Is the traditional way of property investing still advantageous, or would you suggest another strategy? Powerful question. All right, powerful question, because we're keeping it property. I love that. All right, so Mute, this ain't just obviously for Mute. Mute knows this. He's asking this question for the whole group of people that are watching and that are being a part of this. But I'd say if you've got £50,000 to invest in the traditional way is not going to help you. And this is just me being transparent, okay? In this current modern climate, your 50K can go in one of two ways. I could make it three ways, but there's no point in making it like more complicated. So let's make it simple. If you're based in London or in a city near or around London, like most of the people who generally jump onto our show, or most of the people who jump onto our show are usually based near capital cities. So if you're based in a capital city of the country you're living in, £50,000, you're probably still buying one of the smallest denominations of property in your area. Okay, so if you're based in London, £50,000 is probably, it's probably a reasonable deposit for a £200,000, £250,000 flat. But you're buying a flat, a 1-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom flat, depending on where you're buying. Okay. So the question is, how much creativity can you employ in a traditional purchase of a 1 or 2-bedroom flat in order to create long-term cash flow for you and your children or you and your family? Okay. So that's one way. Okay. One way is buying near the capital, buying probably near where you are. Okay. Then the question is, what can you buy with 50,000? Well, the most you could probably buy is a flat. And then the question is, can you start building sustainable cash flow and wealth from one single flat? Okay. Now let's take it the opposite way, which is the other thing you could do. You could go far from the capital. You can go to a northern city, for example. You can go to somewhere like Liverpool. You can go to somewhere like, somewhere up north. Okay. Newcastle, etc. Let's say you went somewhere up north, you bought a block of flats. Okay. Again, 200,000, 250,000. You use your 50,000 as predominantly a deposit and then a few other fees to refurbish or to add a bit of value or to restore a bit of value. So now you're buying a block of flats. Let's say it's 4 flats you've bought, okay, with £50,000. So now you've got 4 units. Now, obviously, pro rata in terms of how much rent you're going to get, the question is, you're probably still only getting the same amount of rent that you probably would have got in London. You probably will make a little bit more. You'll probably be more secure because you've got multiple units instead of the singular unit that you would have had in London. But again, is that the best foundation to now build long-term cash flow? I don't personally think it is, because then the next question is, okay, if you're buying in a city up north, how soon can you refinance, remortgage, pull out some of that money and use it again? If you're buying in London, same question applies. Now in London, the answer might be, in 5 years, 10 years, I can refinance, remortgage. Up north, the answer might be, well, in 10 years, 12 years, 17 years, I can refinance, remortgage. So again, I'm not saying any is right, any is wrong. I'm just saying they're generally the two ways. The two ways are you spend all of what you've got on what you can buy close to you, or you spend all of what you've got somewhere where, what you've got means more, i.e. up north. Okay. Hopefully everyone understands what I'm talking about when I say those two examples. Now, the issue with those two is your 50,000 is all being placed into one transaction. And because your 50,000 is being placed into one transaction, your success for that long-term cash flow in the vision that you have is hinged upon the one asset or the one transaction. If that one transaction goes bad, then you will perceive or assume that property doesn't work, or property is not as good or lucrative as it could be or should be, etc. So this is what I want you to understand from what I'm sharing with you. The reason I'm saying this to you is because it goes back to the example I gave right up at the start of tonight's show, when I was basically saying that the guy who's got 2 properties, when something's going wrong for him, he says property doesn't work. But the guy who's got 200 properties, even if he's got 5, 6, 7, 10 properties having issues, he still knows that the other 190 don't, for example. Okay. So I would say to you, you should try to steer away If the only thing you've got is the 50K, is putting that into one deal and just saying to yourself, look, it's in the one deal. It's going to create my legacy, for example. Now, you've asked at the end of the question something powerful, so I'm going to touch on that as well. You said, would you suggest another strategy? I would suggest another strategy. Again, one of the strategies I would suggest is one of the strategies that I cover in this program, 30 Ways in 30 Days. In this specific program, 30 Ways in 30 Days, multiple ways to generate revenue using property. In that specific program, one of the things that I recommend, or one of the strategies that I talk about, and we spoke about it tonight, just as an example, is the rent-to-rent strategy. Now, the good thing about the rent-to-rent strategy, I'll give you an example. I've got a rent-to-rent deal that I've just had a landlord sign 3 or 4 days ago, just before we shifted into 2021. And we're in a position where we're actually reaching out to investors and saying to investors, look, we got this deal. It's going to cost you $8,000 to be a part of this deal. Put your $8,000 in. We'll give you a percentage rate return and return your $8,000 in the next 12 months. Now, why might that be an advantageous thing for you to get into? Well, I'll give you an example. If you can get a property under contract for, let's use the numbers I've just used, for example, £8,000, and you have £50,000, that means you can do at least 5 properties. Okay, 8 times 5 is 40. Yeah, so you could do, was that maths correct? I hope so. Yeah, it is 40. Okay, so 8 times 5 is 40. So what that means is you could set up 5 different rent-to-rent properties at £8,000 a piece. Okay, so if you set up 5 different properties using rent-to-rent as a strategy at £8,000 a piece, and I'm just speaking as an example. Okay, that's 5 properties you set up, £8,000 a piece. Now, the first one, you might not know what to do. So because you might not know what to do, and I'm just saying this for those people who are watching this and following us who are new to property, so you don't even have an idea of what I'm talking about. But the first one, you might not be able to go and do it on your own. So you might say, okay, Samuel's got a project. He said if I put £8,000 in, I'll get my £8,000 out in 12 months. I got 50 grand. I'll risk the £8,000, throw the £8,000 in the deal, wait 12 months, learn as much as I can over those 12 months. And then when I get my £8,000 back, I've then got my 50K to go do 4 of these myself. Now, the point is, when you go and do the 4 of them yourself at £8,000 a piece, even if you're only generating £500 per property, that's £500 times 5. So now you've got 2,500 coming in on a monthly basis from a £40,000 investment, and you still got £10,000 to play with to potentially take on deal 6. Okay, 8 times 6, 48. So realistically, you could have 6 deals all at £500 cash flow a month, using rent to rent as a strategy, giving you £3,000 cash flow in order for you to go and do stuff. Now, look, guys, I'm telling you, I've taken on rent to rents with a whole lot less than £8,000 in the past. But again, every deal is dealt with differently. But the point I'm just giving you as an average is, even if you was using £8,000 as a benchmark for every rent to rent property you took on, you could rack up a portfolio of 6 rent to rents using that 50K and generate a £2,500 to £3,000 income every single month from that business. And the funny thing about that is 10 months of that, that's 30K. All right. And in 10 months, what you've just done is generated 60% of your 50 grand back the moment you've got those 5 or 6 deals up and running. So, Mute, let me know in the chat how many stars you give to that answer. But that's what I would say to you. And that's how I would think about your specific question. I hope you've got value from what we've shared. And guys, like I've said again and again tonight, if you're getting value, if you've got value from that answer, hit the like button, press the share button, press subscribe, become a part of our journey and community so we can move forward together. So let us know in the chat, brother Mute, is that a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star or no star answer to your question? Let's jump on to the next one. So we got Obi Bims in the chat. Obi Bims says, what are the major cons to have in mind when someone is starting out on property investment? I think that's a powerful question. What are the major cons to have in mind when someone's starting out in property investment? The major cons, I would say, are just to start with, it would be to do things that don't push you forward. Okay, to do things that don't push you forward. And I'm going to describe all of this so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But let's just jump straight into this. So what a lot of people do, I used to do this, okay, guys? So please don't watch this and think I'm picking on you. I'm not picking on you guys. I'm talking about the old me. I used to do this, okay? One of the things I used to do was to read a lot and do a little. Okay, in 2005, when I first got interested in property, when I worked as an estate agent, I was so interested in property, I would read anything I could find about property, but I wasn't actually taking action in 2005. Okay, and you know, let me even go deep with you guys. I'm going to share something with you that I was talking to my dad about today. So earlier on today, I was speaking with my dad. And my dad said something really powerful, okay? And every person who's watching this will understand this to their own vantage point. My dad said when he first came to the UK, he said you could buy a house with £4,000, okay? And I hope you're understanding this. When my dad said that, he's not talking about in Liverpool. He's not talking about up north. He's not talking about that. My dad's talking about in London. Okay, and the reason he's talking about in London is because my dad has lived in London since he came to the UK. So London is what and where my dad knows. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'm talking about. My dad said when he came to the UK, you could buy a house for £4,000. Okay, now let me go deeper to help you guys. My dad then said to me, the thing that was funny about that is so many people didn't buy because they thought things would never change. Okay. So many people didn't buy because they thought things would never change. Like, I guess this is what I'm saying. Obi Bims, yeah? This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the biggest mistake people make is thinking things are going to be the same forever. That's the biggest mistake people make. You see, in 2019, everybody thought that the challenges they faced in 2019 would be the same as the challenges they will face in 2020. Now, I'm not saying it like, oh, everybody thought it, like they actually sat down and said, okay, we're only going to face the same challenges next year as this year. I don't mean it like that, because a lot of people do this subconsciously. Just like I said earlier, if I'm sending you 100 euros, what would you do in your mind? Like if you activate metacognition, thinking about your thinking, you know that if I said to you, I'm sending you 100 euros, you would already spend it. You'd be like, oh, if Samuel sends me that, I can buy this, or I would go and buy that, or I'd spend it on this. Okay. So the reason I'm going into all of this is because I want you guys to understand that what my dad was saying is he came to the UK at a time where there was a great opportunity. However, he knows many people who didn't take the opportunity because they believed that the opportunity would always be there. Let me tell you something. If I created a world where tomorrow the price of property in London went back to £4,000 for a property, the same kind of property I was just describing, maybe at 250k, for example, a one-bed flat, whatever, and everything else worked respectively from there, I can guarantee you the whole of London will be bought tomorrow. I guarantee you. Why? Because everybody who exists tomorrow would know that this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Now, what people don't realize is 30 years ago, 35 years ago, 40 years ago, people didn't realize that the opportunity in front of them was the opportunity of a lifetime. That's the exact same way that today I'm saying to people, look, you got 50k. You're going to tell yourself you got more than other people. You're going to look at other people and maybe look down your nose at them like, oh, you don't have anything. Look at me. I've got something. But what you don't realize is if you use that 50k the way most people use the 50k, you're not going to tap in to the opportunity of a lifetime for you, for example. And this is why I gave, for example, with Mute, the answer I gave him, because he said in the vision that he articulated, he's talking about cash flow. Okay? So I want you guys, as you're watching this, again, for Obi Bim's question, I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from with this. Okay? So one of the biggest cons, just really trying to pinpoint on this question that you're asking, is doing things that aren't pushing you forward. I'll give you a clear example, okay? I don't want to sound like this, but I want to say this. You see, there are some people who are trying to save their way to financial freedom. I always talk about this because I used to do this. This is what, when I was really, really young, this was one of the things I was really good at. And I remember it because my brothers were not good at saving money. I was really good at saving money when I was young, which is why I bring this up. Now, As an adult, I see so many people who are trying to save their way to financial freedom, save their way to financial independence. What you have to understand is this. If you have, for example, $100 right now, okay, if you have $100, okay, the rate of inflation in our world right now is -3%. What that means is by the end of this year, what you can buy with this $100 is going to be reduced by 3%. So if at the beginning of the year, you could buy something for $100, let's say a really nice tie, you could buy for $100 at the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, that really nice tie is not going to cost $100 anymore. It's going to cost roughly $103. But your $100 is still only $100. So the reality is your $100 needs to become stronger. Your $100 needs to learn how to make itself grow armory and clothes and a watch and a ring, and your $100 needs to become the most savviest $100 that you know, so that by the end of this year, your $100 isn't worth the same value it was at the beginning of the year, because the rest of the things in the world are changing their value. They're becoming of more worth. They're becoming worth more value every single moment. And on average, over the last 10 to 12 years, the rate of inflation per year has been around 3%, -3%. So why is that important? This is why it's important. Because what it basically means is if you are going to do what everyone else is doing, like save, because that's what we were taught in school. And this is something you need to really be mindful of. Where do we get some of this stuff from? If you were taught that in school, that's definitely something you should scrutinize and ask yourself, was that for your gain or for someone else's gain? Okay. And that goes back again to this book, How Do You Kill 11 Million People? Now, if, for example, you are trying to save your way to financial freedom, it's a bad move. Because you can't save fast enough. And I'm just telling you, you can't save at a faster rate than inflation and all the other things that are working against you. Okay, let me tell you something you can do fast enough to become financially free. You can collaborate. Okay, what most people don't realize is the people that have the world record for building wealth are all people that are collaborating in some way, shape, or form. Okay, I'll give you an example. If you do a development, you're not building one home, you're building 15 homes, 24 homes, 16 homes, 4 homes. Okay, so you're collaborating not with one buyer, but with multiple buyers, for example. You're also collaborating with more parties, the developer, the construction workers, etc., the land sellers, the planning permission, the council, etc., etc., etc. The point I'm making is the more you are collaborating, you're probably generating more wealth. Okay, collaboration is a key. I want you guys to understand that. So if I'm going to give some bullet points to help in terms of Obi Bim's question, just so that I'm succinct as well in terms of the answer I'm giving. First thing is, all of the things, the biggest cons are all of the things you can do that do not push you forward. Okay, so for example, reading about a strategy but not actually trying to do the strategy, or reading about a strategy without finding someone who does the strategy and investing in them actually doing the strategy. I'll give you an example. If you knew over the next 3 years you were going to read a book every single month about a particular strategy, that is roughly, let's say a book on average is £20. £20 in 1 year times 12 months is £240. £240 times 3 years is roughly 6,000, 4, 8, 12, £7,200. So what that basically means, did I do that right? £20, 240, no, £720, just under £1,000. So basically, what that basically means is if you knew that you'd be willing to read a new book every single month for the next 3 years about a strategy, what I would encourage you to do is, instead of spending all of that time trying to read those books, take the £700, find someone who's active in that strategy and say to them, look, I got £700. How can I invest this in what you're doing to learn about what you're doing? Now, they might say, oh, we've got a course, pay for my course. They might say, you know what, I got a deal. You can put your £700 into my deal. £700 is some money, but it's not the amount of money that most people will be looking for. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you then use the other principle I spoke about in terms of collaboration, you might find another 5 people, another 10 people who also have £700. Now, let's put all of this together, all of the things I've spoken about today. I shared earlier, I've got a new deal. We just signed up. We're allowing people to jump into that deal with 8K. Now think of it like this. You've got £700 based on the premise I've just said. You meet another 10, 11 people and say to them, look, we all want to learn this. Let's all put £700 together. The 11 of us will hopefully put the money into this guy's deal, and less 1 or 2 of us will be nominated to learn as much as possible, feedback to the group, and then we all grow. The point I'm making is that's the 8 grand there, used through collaboration rather than through savings. Okay, so guys, I could go on and on, but just to touch on Obi Bim's question, first thing, don't spend too much time doing things that do not push you forward. Okay, push you forward by action is what I mean. Okay, my most famous quote that I say to people all the time is action begets action. You do something, it forces you to do something else. All right, I hope that answers your question, Obi Bims. Now let's jump into the next one. KTR, does vision have a timeline? Powerful question. If your vision did not materialize in the timeline you wanted, do you have to rethink the vision or postpone it? Extend your timeline. Powerful. KTR, thank you ever so much for a great question. Now guys, this is what I'd say to KTR's question. Your vision should have a timeline, okay? And components or key core components within your vision should have a timeline. If you go and use the video in the description to this video, the one that I've given you for today's homework, you will see what I'm talking about in terms of, you know, setting goalposts or timelines, timeframes to your goals, which help you do that for your vision. So to start answering KTR's question, does vision have a timeline? The answer to that question, in my opinion, is yes. If your vision doesn't materialize, touching the second part of KTR's question, if your vision doesn't materialize in the time you wanted it to, you know, do you have to rethink the vision? The answer to that is yes. Okay, the answer to that is yes. The reason the answer to that is yes is because you need to rethink the vision all the time anyway. That's part of actually having a vision. Part of having a vision, think of what a vision is. A vision is what you see of the future, if you think of it like that. So if you see something of the future, that should always be changing. Why? Because the future is always in the future. So as a result, it should always be materializing more or coming more to life, etc., etc. So as it's becoming more to life, you know, there's slight rethinking that takes place. Okay, you slightly rejig. Okay, now for KTR, what's going to be helpful for you is yesterday's video. Okay, day 2, because if you crack day 2's code, that will help you in terms of understanding the kind of question you've asked here on day 3. So hopefully KTR, you can use that, what we shared in the day 2 video to help you move forward in terms of what we said. All right, but a great question, and yes, you should rethink it. Part of the way you rethink it is by what we call metacognition, thinking about your thinking. Just revisit the vision, just revisit it. Like, why do I want these things? Do I really want these things? Is it someone else's goals, vision, and dream that I've actually written down as my own? What would it feel like if I achieved these things? What would it feel like if I didn't achieve these things? What kind of time frame do I think is realistic to achieve these things? If I added a buffer time, how much buffer time would I have to add in order to achieve these things? If I was able to get these things early, how much earlier could I actually get these things if I really worked hard on them and focused on them and eliminated distractions, etc., etc. So the point is, yes, you do need to revisit it. You do need to ask yourself questions about it. That's what yesterday's video was all about. So yeah, I know that will help you. And thank you for the question. Great question again. So again, KTR, I forgot to say this to Obi Bims, but Obi Bims and KTR, let us know in the live chat, which is right here. But let us know in the live chat how many stars you give for the answer to your question, and we'll keep going on. All right, guys, I know it's getting late, but I've still got more questions. So I'm going to touch 2 more of these questions. I'm not trying to run away, guys. I'm trying to give you the value before we wrap up for tonight. All right, so answered that question. All right, Obi Bim says very, very insightful, powerful. We got Atanas in the chat. Great to have you online tonight, sir. Atanas says very good answer. Fire. Brother Mute said five flame fire for the question that he asked and the answer he got. All right, so last question. I think there's only one other question in the chat, which is from Mr. Yogesh. So Yogesh asked the question, how do you keep on track when things are not going as planned? Powerful question. Thank you for asking again another powerful question, Yogesh. So Yogesh says, how do you keep on track when things are not going as planned and you are getting overwhelmed with obstacles and other things sucking up your time and energy. Example, the whole C19 situation. All right. So guys, I think this is a powerful question. And you know, the funniest thing is like, the best way for me to answer this question is actually just to really just revisit and ignite a number of the things I've spoken about already. Like, if I go back to talking about a number of the things I've shared already on tonight's show, you guys should start to understand, like, this is what we're talking about. If you remember when I opened up the book, page 89, I believe was the page, it asked you, like, what are the things distracting you? Like, you see, let me try and answer Yogesh's question directly. The way you keep on track is by having an extremely clear vision, okay? Now, if you want to understand how to have an extremely clear vision, you guys need to utilize the day one video, but also the resources that I threw in the comments, in the chat, in the description of the day one video. If you go watch day one's video and the description, and you read through the description and you watch the video I put in the description of day one, and yeah, like obviously I spoke about the How Do You Kill 11 Million People book in day one, but in the description of day one, I also put a video which is very, very powerful and very, very relevant to exactly Yogesh's question. So coming into Yogesh's question, he asked the question, how do you keep on track when things are not going as you've planned? And the answer to that is by having an extremely clear vision. That's the simple answer. You need to have an extremely clear vision. Now, let me jump back into page 89, exactly what I read earlier on, for you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about. The book I recommended today, The Principles and Power of Vision, it says here in this book on page 89, the action steps to fulfilling your vision, okay? So at the end of every chapter, Dr. Miles Monroe has put action steps in the book to help you fulfill your vision. On this particular page, he says, have you truly answered the king's question? What is it that you want in life? Write down your answer. Now, let me say this. If you wrote down 5 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, what you truly want in life, and then let's go to the second action step. Second action step says, what things in your life are distracting you from the real business of your life? So imagine this. You've written down, okay, on one hand, what you really want in life. Okay, let me show you this so you guys can see it. Okay, because I want this to be very, very clear for you. So let's say on one hand, you've written down very, very clearly, this is what you want in life. You've written this very, very clearly, what you want in life. Then on the other hand, after writing what you want in life, you've written what are the distractions from you achieving what you want in life, okay? And guys, we haven't even got to page 211, which I think is how many pages are in this book. Okay, a few more, 233, okay? But we're on page 89, and this is why I'm giving you a bombshell of value from there alone, okay? So in page 89, we're reading 2 action steps, which I'm telling you, those 2 action steps alone are extremely powerful in conjunction with what Yogesh is asking. The question Yogesh says is, how do you keep on track when things aren't going your way? Well, if you were very, 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 very clear about what you are achieving, about your vision, about what you are on this earth to do, about what you want to spend your time doing, about the things you're focused on, etc. And you are also equally very, very clear about what the distractions are from that for yourself. Well, it's a done deal, right? It's a done deal. Because when something like the pandemic or the lockdown comes up, you add that to one of those lists, guys. Like, are you going to add that to the, this is my vision of my future list? Or are you going to add it to, this is a distraction trying to take my attention away from achieving the freedom that I have written down as the vision of my life? So I hope that makes sense. Okay, guys, said it before, say it again. If you have to hit like and you're getting value, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel and you know that you're getting value from tonight's show, what I would like to ask you to do is to hit the subscribe button. Side by side with hitting the subscribe button, Press the bell notification so you can stay up to date with every single time we drop a video. Now, for those of you who don't know, the fastest way to subscribe to our channel, right here, okay, is a blue icon which says subscribe. If you actually press this icon, what will actually happen is it will allow you to subscribe to our channel straight away. And that's one of the fastest ways for you to subscribe. Thank you, KTR. She says 7 stars. Thank you. Most welcome, KTR. This is what we do, as you know. So Yogesh as well, let us know in the chat, Yogesh, how many stars you give to the question or the answer that you receive for your question. Always great questions from you, Yogesh. So thank you for asking. Always appreciate your time on the show, just like everybody else. So, guys, what I really want you to grapple with today is vision. Okay, I really want you guys to get to that place where you start to develop a vision for your property investing success, a vision that is going to help you by pulling you. Okay, and I'm going to share something with you that I heard from a coach in 2005. The coach said something really powerful. The coach said, when your vision of the future is clear enough, it will do a better job of pulling you towards it than your vision of the past. I'll say that again for those of you who wanted to write that down. When your vision of the future is clear enough, it will do a better job of pulling you towards it than your vision of the past. The problem for most people is they do not have a clear enough vision of their future. So as a direct result, the thing that pulls them the strongest, the thing that pulls them the most, the thing that calls them and speaks to them and shows up in their mind, in their heart, in their subconscious, is actually the past. And guys, I don't want that to be your story. So this is the reason why we do what we do. This is the reason why we show up. This is why we add value to you as much as we can. And this is why we always work on taking things to the next level in order to help you guys move forward. Now, just as we wrap up for tonight's video, thank you, Yogesh. He says 10 stars. Thanks for great answers. So you are doing the daily for 21 days. Val, that is so, oh wow, that is so kind of you. Most welcome, Yogesh. You know, we love giving people more value, but that is exactly what we're doing. We're doing 21 days of property investing success. Day 1 was the 1st of January. Day 2 was the 2nd of January, and today is the 3rd of January, which is day 3, and we are focusing today specifically on vision. So what I want to encourage you guys to do, if you haven't already, go and get this free resource, the 7 best books for your property investing success. You can go to the link impactproperties.co.uk/book list and get that absolutely free. I'll say that again, that's impactproperties.co.uk/book list. Go get your free book list absolutely free, where we will break down in this resource the 7 best books for your property investing success. Like I said, impactproperties.co.uk/book list. If you guys want me to put the link in the description, just write the word link and I will put that in the description for you. All you need to do is write the word link in the description and I'll put that in the description for you. Now, for those of you who are regulars on our Saturday show, you would know that we recently were asked how you guys as subscribers and viewers could support us in building out our purpose-built content creation studio. And we basically said we want to do that in multiple ways, okay? And one of the ways that we said that we're going to be able to do that is through means of creating and sharing with you guys an Amazon wish list, which we basically created regardless of the channel, just because of the simple fact that there were a number of things in terms of equipment that we were going to be buying from Amazon anyway. So what we've basically done is we were asked by you guys to actually share that with you. Okay, so as a direct result of you guys asking us to share it with you, we have recently shared that with you guys. So if you are interested in helping us to build our purpose-built content creation studio, which we're currently working on, you can gift something from the equipment list by using the link on the screen, which is impactproperties.co.uk/studio build. Impactproperties.co.uk/studio build. It is very, very simple. All you need to do is go to the link. You will see a whole list of all of the different things that we are going to be acquiring in order to kit out the studio. Now, I want to say this because Again, guys, I don't come up with all the great ideas on our channel. I just be honest with you, and most of you know that already because I say this all the time. But we had recently a member of the team say to us, look, there are some people who are going to want to contribute money rather than contribute certain items. And there's also people and there's also things, for the content creation studio that we're going to need, which we're not buying from Amazon, whether it be furniture, whether it be paint, whether it be flooring, whether it be, the wood, the material for the walls, for the decking, etc. So the point I'm making is if you are one of those people who are interested in making some kind of donation, but you're not interested in using the Amazon wish list, the team have asked me to start to create a link or to find a way that you guys can donate a currency amount, an amount of money. So if that's of interest, just write the word donate in the chat, and then I'll know it's something you guys are interested in. And then from one of the days in the future of the 21 days of property investing success, we'll share that with you. Now, again, guys, look, let me put it this way. If you get value from this show and you're one of the people like I have been sometimes who's like, you know what, I'm getting so much value, I'd like to give this guy some money just to say, bro, like, thank you, man. Like I could have paid at a property conference to learn that, but you know what, you made this free online. Then guys, again, you can do that through means of this link that we're talking about in order to build the content creation studio, which again, long term, hopefully is going to be a blessing to every single person who we help through means of the channel. Now, with all that being said, I believe that's everything. I don't know if there's anything else that I'm missing out on tonight's show. I believe that's everything. Let me jump in the chat, see if you guys are missing anything. I've got... the chat is on fire. So I've got link. Okay, I believe that was the link for the book list. The book list is now in the chat. So the book list is now in the chat. With the book list in the chat, you should be able to... Yeah, the book list link is now in the chat. So because the book list link is now in the chat, you guys should be able to use that to go and get your 7 best books for your property investing success absolutely free. Side by side with that, you guys have continued to write links. So I'm not sure if that's for the studio build, but I've just thrown in the link to the Amazon wish list for the studio build in the chat as well. So you guys can have that too. Like I said, I don't know where we currently have our link for donating. So that's not something I can share with you guys at this present time. But again, just let me know. I want to know if you guys have a desire to donate funds. Because if you have a desire to donate funds, then it makes sense me giving you the link. If you guys don't have the desire, then it's a waste of our time. We might as well just get on with the project. So let me know. Let me know if you guys have that desire by just writing the word donate in the chat. And then I'm going to have to find a way to find our old link or whatever link we're supposed to have in order to help people who do want to donate to our channel. Whew. Jam-packed, 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 jam-packed. I believe we had a jam-packed show tonight, guys. I believe that the show was value-packed as well. Let me know. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's show. Let's start there before we look at wrapping up tonight. How did you find tonight's show, guys? Let me have your key learnings in the chat. Let me know what's the key thing you're taking away from tonight's show. What's the one thing you learned which really stood out to you in tonight's show? Let me know, let me know, let me know. I'm looking forward to seeing the key learnings from tonight's show. So let me know, guys. Let me see what you guys really had stand out for you tonight, so I can start to see, wow, this is what people are taking from these 21 days. This is what people are grabbing from the 21 days. All right, guys, I'm very much interested. So let me see what you guys are taking from the 21 days of property investing success, day 3. What was your key takeaway from tonight's video thus far, from tonight's live so far? All right, let me see. Oh, wow. All right, so Sherlyn Ramsey, thank you ever so much for your comments. Powerful comments, so powerful. So Sherlyn Ramsey says, thank you for sharing, Samuel. First time tuning in, well worth it. Listen, don't be a stranger. That's the first thing I'm going to say. This stuff is absolutely free. If you haven't hit subscribe already, Sherlin, hit subscribe, okay? Because every time we go live, we're going to be adding value to you. As Yogesh said ages ago on today's show, he said that the Saturday show is always value packed, and that's every Saturday at 6 p.m. But like I said, I wanted to help people start this year successfully. So this is the reason why me and the team said we're going to do 21 days of property investing success. So we're here to help you win. And the only way we can help you win is if we work with you. That's something one of my coaches used to tell me all the time. The only way you can help people win is if you work with them. So I'm out here helping people by working with them. Let's make it happen. All right, so thank you ever so much for that. We get Sherlin Ramsey's key takeaway, clear vision. I love that. Definitely important to have a clear vision. We got Atanas in the chat who says, just found out about this 21-day program, but I think it's a great idea, really relevant at the start of the year following 2020. I totally agree. One of the problems for most people is they go through life mediocre. Let me just be raw. They go through life mediocre and they don't ever look for help. And sometimes when they see help, similar to one of the comments that was shared earlier, they question so much what's in it for me that they stop themselves from actually taking the value that might even just be free. Okay. And yes, that rhymes. I rhyme a bit every now and then, but that's the reality. You know, some people question so much the what's in it for someone else that what they actually do is stop themselves from taking the value that they actually need. So guys, I'm not saying be naive. Please hear me, okay? I've paid property coaches money that I shouldn't have paid on courses I probably shouldn't have been on in the past. That doesn't mean every course I've been on was a ripoff. That's probably the complete opposite. I've probably been on more great courses than poor courses. But the point I'm trying to make is that you have to understand that whilst you're scrutinizing things, you need to scrutinize things from a level-headed playing field and not from a broad brush playing field, which is what a lot of people do. They kind of judge everything negative because of one experience they've had, rather than realizing that, hold on a minute, most things might be good and that one or two things might be bad. For example, okay, I'm not telling you how to look at the world, but I'm just telling you that we have to manage how we look at the world so we can reap the success out of the world that is necessary for us. So yeah, Atanas, great comments. Thank you for saying that. Oh, powerful. So Atanas says here, his key action or his key takeaway was take the right action, not just action. I really like that. Take the right action, not just action. Okay, so all the key learnings should be coming up at the bottom of the screen right now. Clear vision. What's happening right now with my verbiage? Key learning from Atanas: take the right action, not just action. We got Israel C4 in the chat. Great to see you online. He says he wants to connect me with some young people on Zoom at a local college. 100% interested in doing that. 100% interested in adding value. What I'd say as well for you, Israel, is get those guys on the stream. Like, get those guys on the stream. Let them know, listen, guys, I got a friend of mine. I want to invite him to be a part of a Zoom at the college or whatever it is. But you know, before I get this guy on the college, let's just jump onto the YouTube. Let's jump onto where it's free. Here's the link. If you guys are interested, have a look, have a listen, and let it grow. And guys, look, let me say this for you, Israel. Now's probably the best time to do that with these young people, because 21 days in a row, they can jump in, jump out as they please. And those of them that are really serious will stick with it and come through the whole 21 days and get some value. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. And I think it's going to be extremely helpful. If you're willing to get those people involved, I'm willing to support and add value to them. Okay, we got Serafina, who says, where can we get the 30-day pack from? Okay, powerful question. Where can you get the 30-day pack from? I think right now, I'm not 100% sure, because sometimes we run offers. Usually we sell that pack for £97, but sometimes we run offers where you can get it for free. You just have to pay for shipping, if I'm not mistaken. I guess admin, anyone in the admin, any of the admin team, if you know where someone can go to get the 30 Ways in 30 Days program for free, that would be ideal, because then I did say today that there's no financial offers we're making out here. But if anyone knows where someone can go and get that, please let me know. so I can direct them to that. I'm going to try a link real quick, which may work. If it works, I'll throw it in the chat. But yeah, great question. Great question. Thank you for asking. But let's see. I'm not sure if it's available right now for free, but we usually make it free for people who are interested in jumping onto one of our programs. And I'm sure there's a link out there somewhere that can be used. Email us. Best thing to do is email us so that we can send you the link. Let me put it that way. I'll put our email address in the chat. I think that's the easiest thing to do. If you email the team info@impactproperties.co.uk and just let them know you're interested in the 30 days video resource, and then they'll be able to tell you how to pick that up. Apologies, I don't have the link off my head. But like I said, I could tell you where to go pick it up for £97. But I did say the whole 21 days, we're going to be talking about things that are generally free to help you move forward. So as a result, I don't want to do that. But yeah, if I remember the link, I'll put it in the description of the video. So again, if you guys visit this description of the video in 24 hours, you will probably see the link to get the 30 ways in 30 days program absolutely free. You probably just have to pay for shipping, which will be less than £10. Okay, so if you're watching the replay, check in the description. It's probably in there by now. All right. Mrs. I Can Win says I'll check it out as well. That's also very helpful. Just for Mrs. I Can Win to help you, if you want to find it quickly in the Facebook group that we have, I think the link will be in there somewhere. All right, cool. We got some more key learnings. KTR, powerful key learning. So KTR says having a crystal clear vision is key to success. I totally agree, and I'm so glad that that's what you've taken from tonight's show. I think that's really, really powerful. We got another few comments. We got a comment from Atanas here in the chat. Atanas says one definitely needs help from the right people. I totally agree with that, Atanas. Thank you, Samuel, for watering his journey. Most welcome, Atanas. This is what I've been here for. He said he's already started the year with viewing and offering of a £500,000 development deal. Well done, Atanas, and keep doing what you're doing. Listen, the growth I've seen since we first met a number of years ago till now is phenomenal in your property journey, also in your spiritual journey. And I just want to encourage you and say, keep doing what you're doing, keep trusting God, and it will keep happening for you. All right. So just keep doing what you're doing. There are a lot of people that come in contact with me and are interested. Okay. And someone said something to me once, and I believe this. They said, when you're interested, you will do what is convenient to move forward. But when you are, what was the word they used? They used another word. It's another word anyway. But when you're, okay, let me use these words. This is not the exact word the person used, but it will help you get exactly what I'm talking about. What they said to me is, when someone is interested, they will do what is convenient to move forward. When someone is serious, they will do whatever it takes to move forward. Now, the word they used was not serious, but I'm sure you guys get the gist. Okay, there's a difference between being interested and really being on it. And it's people that are really on it that go beyond what fits and what's convenient for them to make things happen. So let's keep doing what we're doing. And again, most welcome, Atanas. It's been a pleasure, and we'll keep doing that. All right. Okay, Atanas has another comment, very funny. He says, who would have thought that would be him? I would have thought that, from when I met you, I think I was speaking to you about bigger things. And the reason why is because I believe in bigger things for you. All right, Mrs. I Can Win, as usual, delivers the goods. She has just dropped in the chat the specific link for you guys to go and get the 30 ways in 30 days training program absolutely for free. All you guys have to do is pay for the shipping. So the link is in the chat, sourcingblueprint.com/ I believe it says free form or something like that. So I believe that's the form for those people who want to get the video or get the thing all absolutely free. So sourcingblueprint.com/ free form. You can go to that link and go and get the 30 ways in 30 days absolutely free. All you got to do is pay for shipping, and I believe that is still less than £10. Woo! It's been a stream. We got Seraphina in the chat saying thank you. Most welcome, Mute. Most welcome, Serafina. Most welcome, family. We love you guys. Great to see you guys on the stream. Now, guys, with all of that being said, I want to say one thing to you guys. If you really want to push forward in your property investing journey and you want some value, which is a little bit different to the stuff I've been sharing with you in these 21 days, something where I'm going to break down keys and principles for you to use specifically in property to move forward, I want you to go and register right here for tomorrow's masterclass. We have a masterclass that we're going to be running at 8 p.m. tomorrow. The title of that masterclass is How to Take Advantage in This Current Climate and Win. And the way to register for this masterclass is by going to this link right here under the video, impactproperties.co.uk/masterclass. One more time, that is impactproperties.co.uk/masterclass. So if you're interested in that, go grab your free 30 days in 30 ways training program, and straight after you do that, go and register for the upcoming masterclass, which is taking place tomorrow at 8 p.m. Now, even side by side with the masterclass, you know I love to give value. I'm also going to be available tomorrow for day 4. Yes, I said it, day 4 of the program. Okay, so guys, let me know how we can help you. So day 4, we are going to be going through some deeper stuff. Okay, we're going to be going through some deeper stuff tomorrow for those of you who are ready. Okay, even deeper stuff tomorrow. So let me know. I want all of you guys on the journey. Okay, and I want you to bring people, bring friends, bring family. Let people know, you know what, I got some value from this show. And I want to let you know about this show because I think this show is going to help you too. So let other people know if you think this is going to be of value to them also. I have just thrown in the chat 2 links. One link to the free 30 Ways in 30 Days program. And the second link is to the masterclass for those of you who want to register for our masterclass and be a part of what we are doing tomorrow at 8 p.m. Guys, I know you've got value from tonight's show, so let the world know by writing the word value in the chat. Without further ado, I'm Samuel, I Can Win, It Can Win, your host for tonight's show, the third day of our 21 days in property investing success. And I'm looking forward to seeing you succeed beyond your current imagination. And as I usually say, happy investing. I'll see you on the next one.